Hey, it's Dougie Fresh here in the flesh, here to help you become your best. And I'm going to do that through this outstanding book, The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. This book instantly went in my top 10. And this is actually a book outline video and a college success tips video, because this book will serve you tremendously on your journey of college, becoming more of a mature person. And when I say mature, I don't mean like an adult, I mean of growing to your potential, right? Four agreements. I read it this summer, about 6 months ago, and I've been practicing the agreements. I've been trying to live them. I've been putting awareness and focus on them, and it has gave me a broadened, heightened, yet deepened sense of personal freedom in my life. And I wish the same for you. I truly do, because it's magnificent. It's filled with glory, and it's a beautiful life you can live if you can live these four agreements. So let's see what they are about. But first, what is an agreement? Okay, an agreement is basically a belief in something, having faith in an idea and living it, and it could be unconscious. He talks about domestication in the beginning of this book. We've been domesticated by influences in our life since we were a kid. When we were born, we were perfect, and different influences, TV, family, siblings, your mom and dad, the family, and school, the internet, right? All these bombardment of different people telling you what to believe, And he says if you believe these four agreements, this will break the chains of those other unwanted ones that we've unconsciously taken on. You want to make a conscious decision to accept them. So this whole beehive of different things in the world we've been put onto us, you want to do it with an awareness. And before I get into the four agreements, I'm going to just read just a few things here. And that is that our biggest fear, death is not the biggest fear we have. Our biggest fear is taking the risk to be alive. The risk to be alive and express what we really are. Just being ourselves is the biggest fear of humans. And this helps us be ourselves more. He's really all about authenticity. This is Toltec wisdom here. Okay. So the only way to store information is by an agreement, he says. The outside dream may hook our attention, but if we don't agree, we don't store that information. As soon as we agree, we believe it. This is called faith. To have faith is to believe unconditionally. And a lot of these agreements, I said, we've made unaware. So you want to decide on your own on what you choose to truly believe, truly agree to. Four agreements, all right? Now it's time to get down to business. First agreement, be impeccable with your word. Second, don't take anything personally. Third, don't make assumptions. Fourth, I'm going to wait till the end to get you this gem, that last one, all right? So the first agreement, be impeccable with your word. I'm actually going to, there's a little sidebar here, and it describes each agreement. I'm going to go through that one, go through each of those as I go through each. So be impeccable with your word. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself, right? Or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. Okay? He talks about the word impeccable. He breaks the word down. The word impeccable literally means without sin. Okay, now what is sin? Well, sin is basically what, in this book, what I've learned from it is wrong. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't support you. It doesn't serve and support others. It doesn't serve and support the world. So what is right is something that does support and serve you, others, in the world. I don't like right and wrong, thinking black and white. I think we don't really know. These are just ideas. And you see what others have done, right? You see others, and you kind of do experiments, right? You mix up some things, and you and you make your own experiment on what is right and wrong. We don't live in parallel universes. We can't be two places at once. We don't know if that decision was right. We could have gotten a car accident if we got that decision. We don't know if this decision was right. This great thing could have happened. So we truly don't know. But right, let's play with right as in something that serves you. Okay? So impeccable, you're without sin. And in the biblical context, sin means to miss the mark. You're missing the mark. You miss the point. You're throwing darts, you don't even hit the board. All right? In Buddhism, they call it dukkha. You're stuck. So you want to get unstuck. You want to hit the mark. And being impeccable with your word allows this to happen because it's a manifestation of who you are, how you're feeling, and what you're living, how you're speaking, in your mind. So it's not only against others in saying things, but it starts in the mind. You want to support and serve yourself in your mind and encourage and build up people, not give them black magic, because our word is magic, and you want to give them empowerment and lift them up. Empower others, don't break their spirits. Therefore, I love encouraging people. I find it energy generating, motivating athletes, motivating, inspiring, educating people. I love it. There is one caveat though. I do like to mess around and talk a little trash to people when I'm competing against them, or I see a girl, I make fun of something that they have. I get an opportunity to make fun of them. I take it, right? But I'm coming from a sentiment of playfulness, cheerfulness, so that's okay. Like I said, I liked wrestling growing up, and I like talking trash. That's fun, but make sure you know where you're coming from, okay? So be impeccable with your word. Do things that serve and support you. Next, biggest one I got. Don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. I really made this one a focus. I put an intention and I deliberately focused on this one, and I practiced it, and it really helps. I don't take anything personally. Almost maybe 90% of the time, I see, okay, I always want to learn what I can do to improve, and it's feedback, and I learn that, but it might be that person. So it gives you a freedom to be more of who you are. Don't take anything personally. Take a moment to think of the times you've taken things personally. Okay? Take a moment right now. Because even if others lie to you, it is okay. They're lying to you because they are afraid. They are afraid that they are not perfect. It is painful to take that social mask off, right? I've experienced this many times. So only by making an inventory of our agreements will we uncover all of our conflicts in the mind and make order of the chaos we have there. You need to trust the choices you make and have a little bit more control on your mind and your mindset. Don't take anything personally. I love this one. It has helped me so much. What others do is because of themselves, not you. I talk about in my rejection video that one person could wake up out of bed and have a horrible day, and you say hi, and they could be so mean to you and call you ugly, whatever it may be. But another person could have a marvelous day and be nice to you. You said hi, you might have said the same thing, but the two different people are two different people. So take things as they are, right? But you don't take them personally. That's a key agreement. One of the most important for me, one of the ones I've made the most progress in because I did my best in it. The next agreement, don't make assumptions. This one I still need to work on more in my life. I could do more of my best in this one, because if you break down the word assumptions, assume, you're literally breaking it. It says ask, you, and me. Making an ass out of you and me. So assuming is dangerous. It's a trap. And the reason it is because we accept it. see it as pure truth, 100% truth, and that's never the case. So ask, is this absolutely true? Can I be sure of this when you make these assumptions? He says, find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as crystal clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. With just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. Okay, so don't make assumptions. Think about the times we made assumptions in our lives. Think of a few now. You know, you got to reflect on these. I find it to be the most powerful thing. Looking at a couple points to share with you. So you have a couple. Let's try and make it more of a focus to not make these assumptions. Problem with them, I said, is we accept them as truth. And it's just ask, is this 100% true? Can I be sure? All right, don't over and underestimate things. All right, ask questions, have the courage. Everybody has the right to tell you things. You have the right to tell other people things. You have the right to say yes or no. Elliot Hulse makes a great video of talking about, pull out a sword, it's your yes, it's your I will, and the other sword is your no, and use them fully, use them with might. Okay, the last agreement, here's that fourth one I didn't share with you. Always do your best. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you are healthy as opposed to when you are sick, tired from when you are energetic. Under any circumstance, simply do your best, and you will avoid, now this is critical and imperative here, and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. If you do your best, you'll have this sense of personal accomplishment and freedom and achievement about it. And it's great. I try to live this way, to do my best. Do your best. Don Miguel Ruiz goes off in the book on doing your best. I highly recommend it. But what this one does, it puts the other three ideas into action. Okay, it puts it into action. And so what I gave you is the ideas. Now it's up to you to do your best to live these. And if you put them into action, practice them, it can eventually become the ultimate thing. Habit. There's one more thing that's more ultimate than that is integrating it into who you are. Then you have this more personal freedom and you can be more of who you are. So he really goes great into always do your best. I'm not going to read too much in it, but I am going to share one more point with you. Yeah, one more point. Well, with always do your best, I read this book, Awaken the Giant Within, when I was 19 years old, and it was powerful because it talked about constant and never-ending improvement, and I've committed to that in my life. So that's basically what always do your best is. But it's a daily, moment-to-moment thing. All right, living with virtue. The last thing I'm going to leave you with, I wish you were to adopt these 4 agreements for your own sake, not for me, but to make this world a better place, make yourself even better than you already are, and to make other people around you even better. Okay, it's a challenge. You have to have a strong will to adopt these agreements. And the one thing my brother got out of this book when I gave the book to him was he said, hey, that angel of death thing is cool. I'm like, what's that? And he told me about it, and I said, oh, yeah, I remember that. I checked out the page and read about it, and he says the angel of death is thinking about when we die. You know, Stephen Covey does this in the 7 Habits as we think about our funeral. A couple other books do this, and you kind of go to your funeral. You go to when you die, like what matters, and that actually gives you a sense of a surge of energy and aliveness and zest and zeal for your life. And it lets you do your best, as I say in my videos. Dougie Fresh here in the flesh, about to give you my absolute best. I'm giving you my absolute best. Give your absolute best. All right? And you will feel fresh, and you will be blessed. So that angel of death you can use, you can call on. It's an angel of death because there's kind of an angel in that, thinking of when you could die, what's going to matter most, you know? As Brandon Bouchard says, when he got in a car accident, did I live? Did I love? Did I matter? Right? These are the things. Great book to kind of harp and magnify this angel of death. Death is Seneca on the shortness of life. So So there we go. That's the 4 agreements. Stay fresh. Stay blessed. Peace.